Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eichenberry in real life, and welcome to a roundtable for Neos Land. This is an official roundtable where we are going to discuss Mercenaries. Now, the devs have been asked to exit out from the last show. Sorry, guys, no offense, but we don't want you here for this portion because we are going to brainstorm about the subject and we are going to really design what we want, and then it's up to the developers to see if they can put it in. And that's how the design of this game has been going. And so far, we've come up with some amazing things that they never thought would exist in any game. I never thought would exist in any game either. And many of them are being put into our game here. So, welcome everyone.
Hi, Marcus.
We got a pretty full house today, and we had Oleg and Noe, who both had a high interest in Mercenaries. We talked about it in the last episode, and so I figured, what better time to start than right now with the topic of Mercenaries. So, Oleg, you're still here with us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. So, Oleg, tell me why the subject of mercenaries interests you.
Well, I like PvP. I like killing people, getting money from them, and all that stuff.
And, being a mercenary, you're like a hired man. And so, do you, what is it about that? I mean, you can just go out and kill people at random, I suppose, if you want, but
Yeah, but that's
but why a
evil,
mercenary?
because you get paid for it.
Ah, okay.
Also,
So,
there must be some kind of system that people will know, so that I'm a mercenary. So, and I don't know how to explain this.
no, that's okay. That's okay. So, and no way, you expressed interest in mercenary activities as well. What is it about mercenaries that has your interest?
Well, there are two things that I like, and that is PvPing and killing people and being rich. So, a mercenary is the perfect option, in my opinion,
Uh-huh.
because first you can kill a lot of people and you can get rich of it. So,
I was just envisioning that in game that maybe you'll take the family name of Fett, and so you'd be like no way Fett,
no way, fat. I'll think about it.
like Boba Fett. Boba Fett, yes. So the famous mercenary. Okay. Well, now I love PvP, and I seem to get killed a lot, but I also I think that that I would want to inflict punishment on other people who I'm upset with or whatever, and allow you guys to go out on my behalf and take somebody out.
Well, you know
So
who to call, so.
yeah. um,
Speaking of system, when you get killed, you get this little menu like respawn or make a contract to a mercenary, J- like just the time when you die.
Okay, so let's
You
just
don't
talk about
have
the
to.
basics on this and say, okay, when we um, it does it require a time of death, or can anybody place a hit at any time?
Anytime, I think.
Yeah, I think that would probably be good too. But maybe when you get killed, that there's a button there for give a bounty or something like that.
Effect revenge.
Affect revenge. Ooh, revenge. The button will just be called revenge.
Yep.
Ooh, I like that. Um, and so then in this whole system, what do we think should be the options in how we place a bounty on someone? what kind of information is needed there?
Probably a ranking of people or the rank of people that are killed. So I think a higher rank, the more rewards you get. So you can sort of move up. So if rather than killing lots of newbies, you get zero points for that. You have to kill a ranked person.
Yeah, you have to go with the big guys.
So yeah, the big guys. So therefore, the big guys can't go around just killing lots of newbies to get points. It'll be worth nothing to them and just a waste of time.
Well, should the point system for being a mercenary be separated from just the PvP points? Of whether or not you kill another player. I mean, should it be separated so that when you're a mercenary and you're hired to go kill somebody, that you get, mercenary ranks?
I think it should.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I wouldn't mind. I like PvP. And I've talked about going out and hunting other players and stuff like that, but I also want to be a merchant, and if we only have one character in the game, then, I am going to have to be really careful about how I act, what I do. But if it's a mercenary type thing and I get to go out and track this person down, hunt them down, and kill them or whatnot, and it's part of a job title or whatever that may not affect my merchant ability. I'm just wondering if they should be linked or not. And how about a couple of you speak on that, on whether or not you think that killing players in general should the reputation system with that should be linked at all to whether or not you're paid to go out and kill somebody.
No, I think it should be completely separate, because you can have these wars that are just PvP, and they can last days, weeks, months, or whatever like that, sort of family feuds, as it were. And then other people who don't have these family feuds but consistently do bounty hunting, then their point system would be a lot lower than people that continuously have PvP battles. So I think someone that's actually dedicated themselves to this career should get a reward in that career rather than just sort of general PvP pointage system.
It should be like a difference between justified and unjustified kills.
Yeah, some would say, yeah.
So, what do you think, Brian? I see you making all kinds of faces over there.
Yeah, I am thinking about a system that was implemented in Star Wars Galaxies. So if you get killed, you can place a bounty or not. It's up on you. Doesn't matter if it is a honorless kill or something like that. So even in PvP, if somebody is killing you, it's up on you if you want to place a bounty on his head or not. And then maybe some system like a billboard where you can go at and then you take a look. Okay, here. This guy looks interesting. Zack, I catch that contract.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when you choose to be a former bandit, you need to have the thing hanging over your head constantly, that at any time somebody could come out and just kill you for what you did. That constant fear thing is essential to the game.
Like have a star in front of their name or something like that, or a symbol to say they've got a bounty, a $sign in front of their name above their head so people can see it.
When you place out a bounty, there should be like a time limit on the bounty, and if someone accepts the bounty, it should be visible to all the other players. And then on the other hand, you could have deputies who see that symbol, so they know, okay, this guy is gonna kill someone in a certain time limit, and they have to prevent the kill. And that would be an awesome system to do.
What you're talking about here is that like someone places this bounty and another person accepts. Are they the only person that can accept, or could a group of people accept, and then whoever gets the kill gets the reward? Or
Yes, something like that is
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that this contract is not limited to one bounty hunter, so there can be 5 mercenaries, and who comes first draws first. So if you're the first to get the kill, it's yours.
No way. You talk about some sort of symbol or a star or something like that. you know, that makes me think that let's just say that somebody has a bounty on my head, and I see somebody walking at me and they have a star on them, and it means that they've accepted the bounty, challenge or whatnot.
Yeah, okay,
And
but
so I see that star and I say, oh shit, I better run.
it doesn't have to be your bounty. There are maybe hundreds of bounties out there, so yeah, it could be anyone.
Okay.
Being
That's
a
an
mercenary
interesting thought.
is and anonymous.
So Oleg, you're at the separate side that you think that nobody should know that you're there to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be something that could be turned on or off, and so the display of that a mercenary could proudly say, have this star or whatever that hangs there that says, I proudly go out and kill people for money, while the other guy, like Oleg, wants to play. Nobody knows. He's your friend. You're talking to him, and then he gains your trust, and then stabs you in the back on the way out of the dungeon.
I think how the system's working is it's going to be a bit strange, because if you're a friend of the person that's got a bounty on their head, you're just going to kill them. They're going to take all their gear off. You're going to kill them. You're going to get the bounty.
Okay.
And then that will just clear the bounty. So I think it's got somewhere to prevent that as well.
Okay,
Like,
so how do we prevent bounty farming then?
Guild members or affiliated guilds can't claim bounties off
Okay.
guild members, and you
I think
can't claim a bounty off someone if you've left that guild within a week, say. So if people can't leave the guild, claim the bounty, and then rejoin the guild. So it's got to be like a week downtime from the guild before you can claim it. And I don't think mercenaries should have any indication that they're mercenaries at all.
Well, it could be avoided with multiple counts easily, so that's not really an option.
But I mean, that means
Or a
that
solution.
that means you're not affiliated with your main character or with any of the other characters. So yes, you could have, but then that means you'll have to train them all up in PvP, which I don't think anyone would do anyway. Have one in each of the big guilds and train them all up in PvP. I don't think that will be I don't think anyone would sort of be doing that to do.
I know that before I played EVE Online, before I really got into it, that they had a bounty system in there. And I learned a lot about this bounty system because I hold the record for the highest bounty ever in EVE Online, currently.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And so the bounty system, from my understanding, is the way it used to be, was that whoever killed you collected the entire bounty. And now they changed that because just before I started playing, they had changed this, and so I was getting all kinds of messages of people saying, please let me kill you, let's arrange this, and then I'll split the bounty with you. And so then they changed it so that the bounty that you get is only like the value of the assets of the ship that the person is currently in. And so it just lowers by that amount, and it pays out that amount, something like that.
Yes.
Which I believe that they put in because they were having bounty farming problems. So what do we suggest as a solution? Is that a solution, or is there something else that we should look at to keep people from just farming the bounties?
I think you can link the amount that the bounty goes down by the ranking, the PvP or the mercenary ranking system that person has. So the top guy will literally pay out 100%, but someone that's right the way down, there's no points, pays out maybe 1% of the bounty.
Interesting.
it can go towards reputation with the actual person that's doing the hit. So for example, like the more people they kill for a bounty, the worse their reputation is, which and then costs more to actually deal with NPCs in towns, purchasing, selling, so that it takes a negative effect on their day-to-day lives, just like it would if you're an actual hitman in real life. You couldn't just go out and show your face. So then you would have to actually employ people with good reputation to actually do, you know, the market trading and the day-to-day objectives for you.
How can you know someone is a killer?
I think old system from Ultima Online was perfect with reputation and red and blue players.
Red, blue, gray, white.
Yeah, yeah, it was best that I see.
And I think that we're going to get into that, and I think that that is something that we've discussed lightly, and that we want to do. But being hired to kill somebody is different than being just a player killer and living in Buck's Den. So I think it's much deeper than that. Although I think that there should be that system for people who kill indiscriminately. But as far as like contract stuff, it's very stealthy. So, yeah. Saint, I like your idea about it was you that said the scale, or was it somebody else that
Yes.
said the scale? So the scale, like the person who's to the top ranked mercenary would get 100%. The second ranked person would get 99% or whatnot, and so there'd still be some bounty left over, 1% on that person that somebody else could claim. And then when you get down to like the top 90 people or whatnot, then everybody else is at like they get like 10% or something like that, and maybe they can't kill them over and over and over again, to farm that bounty.
Yeah, I say probably you can kill a person once a day. So
Yeah.
if you really want to claim that bounty, you can go and track that person down the next day and kill him again. But
They're
I'd
gonna
say-
feel so abused. If I get killed every day by the same guy, I'm gonna feel so abused.
It only happens for 10 days.
Well, no, not if it only pays out 10%.
Oh yeah, well yeah, okay, tell 10%, so forth. Yeah, it'll get down to next to nothing. It'll get down to the fact is that it's not worth killing the guy anymore.
Yeah, and so the people who really take this on as a career, we'd have like the top 90 people are actually start earning more, and everybody else sits at like the 10% level, something like that, and
What happens if you fail a bounty?
Then you cannot accept the contract again for 2 hours or something like that. That would be great.
But I mean, right now with the system, the way we're kind of forming it, the person that's actually carrying out the hit really has no negative effect right now on them. So shouldn't there be some negative aspect as to getting such a large payout for yourself if you fail?
Well, I think there's a roundtable about dying. So I think something like this, when the guy's trying to enact the bounty, actually dies himself, then he loses all his stuff that he's carrying at the time.
Yeah, I would think a mercenary would, if they get killed, if they try and take somebody out and they die instead, when they're attacking a person who is a target, that if they get killed, they probably should lose everything they've got on them. Unless it's like we've talked about, a couple of the reward items get to stay, whatever. But everything else, that's probably the price for failure.
Yeah, and maybe if there is also some reputation thing inside, maybe he should also lose some reputation at the end.
Well, okay, so his mercenary rank, would it go down?
Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
it be like
so
this?
that you have something like the Mandalorians, for example. It's just an example. It's a bounty hunter guild, so that you lose standing to them. So if you kill somebody, a target, then you will gain reputation. If you lose against the target, you will lose reputation. And depending on the reputation, also your rank is increasing or decreasing.
So let's talk just briefly about how people are listed, how their skill is used here. But instead of just being the top bounty hunter, having that they are, because they've killed the most people with bounties on them, maybe it needs to be based on the success rate of attacking and getting the kill, or attacking and the person dying. Because it is about getting the kill, and if you have other friends helping you, you want to just get the first hit, and then you want them to die to be success. I'm not sure what value that has to the show.
I have two questions. One, maybe it's already asked. I don't hear. Who will create contact for Hunter?
Well, it would be somebody like me who gets killed, and I say, "Damn it, I'm mad at them. I want to put 100 gold toward, a bounty on this guy." And the bounty may be placed by multiple people. So if somebody's a real asshole, they may get bounty by a lot of people.
Yeah. So in early game, I think number of contract will be very low.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will need time to.
Mm-hmm.
And not question, I have idea. I read some book about hunting. So when hunter get contract, they get some medallion or something like that, and only this medallion will be I don't know, expired or something like this after target will be killed. And only in this time hunter can be killed by guards. After medallion expired, guards can do nothing.
And what is that? What is that one word you're saying? Who can do nothing?
Guards, I don't know.
Guards.
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 He means
Okay.
guards,
Yeah.
yeah, guards.
Okay. Okay. So, well, should a mercenary be effect to the guards? You know, like being barred from a town, you know, that's under heavy guard.
If it's under protection, then a mercenary has to abide by all the laws, unless that town allows mercenaries to enter free,
Oh,
free
yeah.
of charge and free.
That's a very interesting point, and so you need to wait for that person to exit the town. Otherwise, you'll lose standing with like the guards or the town.
And be attacked by them, yes.
Yeah.
So
You know,
so
you had a
how
good
we-
point. I think you just mentioned whoever just said they read a book that they would receive an item for a bounty. That can actually be a way of policing the system so that you don't have a hitman or whatever, a mercenary go out there with a group of people and they assist him on getting a kill just for him to get the bounty. Where you can have something like a blood sampling kit that like is bound to that bounty hunter. So if he has to get the kill and he has to do a percentage of damage on that person to even be able to use that blood drawn kit on the person to take that sample back to whoever issued the bounty. Something along those lines is that make it a 1v1 where you're not able to cheat the system to get, easy bounties quick and kill people quick. It will have to take some sort of effort to actually complete the hit on that person.
Proof of solo kill.
Yeah, so maybe require that it's solo, and that if anybody else gets in the fray, that it nullifies it. But at the same time, you could have another zealous friend that's just like, holy shit, he's killing that person. I better help him, not understanding that you're trying to claim a bounty or whatnot.
Gets killed by guards.
I mean, in that sense, to be a bounty is to have preparation. It's all about stealth. It's all about setting up the kill. So I mean, if you have just a random friend coming and running in, I mean, it's up to you to be able to tell your people that, hey, I'm gonna go kill this person. Do not touch him. He's mine. Which also adds to the social aspect of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there is another option where anyone can kill. If you sort of accidentally, or not even accidentally, but kill someone in basic PvP.
Richard, unmute yourself. Okay. Richard, you'll need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I've done that now, yeah.
Okay. There
So
you go.
yeah, that guy has basically got a bounty on them, and you in basic PvP, why not have whoever's killed that person to get the bounty? Or the people who actually attacked that guy. So if 4 people have attacked the guy, each of them get a share of the bounty as you got an Eve. Does it have to be mercenaries to accept a contract to be able to just kill that person and they're the only people to get the bounty? Or I believe everyone that kills that person can get a share of the bounty, and it doesn't have to be an accepted contract. It could be a lucky shot in PvP where the person's not known to have a bounty,
Hmm.
and that gets killed. So therefore, it's not such a solo career, as it were, where bounties
So,
and
but
merc-
even so, then even if you're the top ranked person and there's four of you that killed him, so you'll get 25% if you're 1/4 of it, and you're the top ranked person, and another person is not even ranked, so he would get I don't know, 10% of a quarter,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
I think it'll all be based on the person setting the bounty on the target's head, where they can make it a public bounty and just pay out to whoever gets the kills based on how
Well-
much damage they do to that target, and then have private bounties.
I think though that Saint, that what you're thinking of is something that is a singular bounty. And what if we've got 100 people that are pissed off at this guy and have placed a bounty on him? Then, you know what? Then what do you do? Is it you collect from the whole thing, or you collect from just one?
You can only accept one bounty on one person. You cannot accept 10 bounties on the same person.
You think
What-
so?
No, I think you can claim as many bounties
Yeah.
as that person's
I
got.
think the bounty
Sorry.
is just one. It's just people add to the pot.
Yeah.
Oh, if that's the case, yeah. But if there would be separate bounties, you wouldn't be able to accept them all at once, I guess.
Right.
I think that's when your reputation and your rank as whatever mercenary you are that you guys were describing comes into play, and it has to just be a multiplier off of that rank or whatever numbers are set in place to make it worthwhile for both parties.
I think the
I
whole
think
thing of you two
mathematically
just
this can be figured out.
Yeah. But I think that the limitation is if you're just having bounties available for mercenaries and that's it, you're limiting the system to just having those two types of people be able to claim these bounties. But if you've bounties
Now,
available
can
for
I-
everyone, just to if someone dies with a bounty, the person who's not killed them, irrelevant if they're mercenary or not, is able to collect some of that bounty. As in,
Now, I think that also with that notoriety they should have some visual aspect to this, like a necklace full of like teeth or ears or something like this. This has to be, if you're working towards this, I want pikes on heads, man.
big toe.
What player will lost when they die? It's something big or nothing.
The person who's the target, or the person who is the mercenary?
Who's target? Who's target?
The target, so far what we've talked about, which we haven't set all this in stone, we actually got to do a roundtable on it, but the leading thought at the moment is that it depends on what region you're in as to how much you'll lose. And maybe if you get killed in your own house, you wouldn't lose anything, but maybe if you're out in some volcanic area where the resources are really, really, really rare and stuff like that, you would lose everything.
Because for my opinion, it's an important question because if player, for example, will lose nothing, so nobody will pay for contract. It's
Well, the idea is to, when you pay for a contract, I think that the idea is to enact some sort of revenge. And, so what is revenge? Is revenge just disrupting their time a little bit, where they have to go and resurrect and go get their stuff back? Or is
Yeah.
it that they take some sort of loss, on top of that? And
If they die and lose stuff, that's the better thing.
Well, it is, but I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate here. In Eve, I didn't know that I was going to become the number one bounty. I'm not an asshole in game. I wasn't.
You asked for it.
Well, but I didn't know what I was getting. And now my bounty is so high in the game that
Number one there.
it may take. I've been number one for the last 6 months, and I haven't been playing very much. And in order for my bounty to go down, I have to. When we talk about the how big this is, it's worth $2,600 worth in real life dollars worth of ISK, the bounty that's on my head. And because of that, I get so many attacks that I have to do a lot of things in private and not, not on the stream and everything. And so and that's because of my media attention that I get. And it's not because I'm a bad guy in game and pissing everybody off. It's just because people had money they wanted to spend to see me squirm.
That's true.
That's why you should only make contract when you die from someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now that's a very good point, because that would stop this issue that I have, and people who are kind players would then this is perfect, Oleg, really, because we've talked about in PvP where what is the negative effect on somebody who's PvPing? What is the social aspect that makes them want to be a better person in game? And one of the things is that they start getting a bounty on their head because people get pissed off at them for killing them. And then that bounty gets so big that they're such a big target that they can't stand the social pressure of that anymore. Even if they've got a good reputation because they've been killing bad players as well. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
That sounds that sounds good. Just to be able to put bounty if someone's been killed. I think that would work a lot better and actually sort of settle the whole sort of throw a bounty on anyone type thing.
Because I'm worried about that, to be honest. Especially doing this show. When the game's up and running and somebody goes and watches this show and they say, I'm going to screw Marky up. I'm going to put a big bounty on his head.
Of course we will.
Yeah, of course you will. See? So, and I don't want somebody like my friend Frank, who is the term is really Care Bear. He wants to play games like this, but he does not want to enter into PvP. These games are not about PvP for him at all, and he doesn't mind a little bit of conflict, but he doesn't want to be greatly sought after. And if somebody were to place a large bounty on his head, then that would destroy his gameplay. It wrecks his fun, and if you wreck his fun, he leaves the game, and that's not a success for him, and it's not a success for the game.
But if you do bounties only when someone gets killed, what if someone breaks into your house? Can you place a bounty on him then, for example?
Well,
okay.
So maybe it's not bounty on death. Maybe it should be bounty on hostile action.
Yeah, that sounds better actually. Yeah.
And so even if you attack me and fail, that I prevail or I run away or whatever,
survive,
I still have the option then to place a bounty. And maybe it's just a one-time thing. Maybe I have a list of people who have committed hostile actions towards me, and so then I have that list, and I say, okay, I'm going to put 10 gold on this guy, for his hostile actions, and then he's removed from my list, or I can't place more bounty on him. It's just a status of whether or not it's been claimed, and then it should, when it's been claimed, maybe it should tell me who claimed it so I can send them a thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good actually. Yeah, definitely.
But I can't place another bounty on him, or I can't up it or whatnot. And so if the person stops being hostile, doing hostile actions towards me, then I can't keep doing that to them. And I wouldn't be able to go into their house and have them attack me and then me be able to place a bounty, because I would be the one that's hostile.
Yeah, exactly. That will also stop stream sniping, like you said, because of the stream getting a high bounty on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That will also stop that.
Yeah. Okay. That this is sounding really good. So.
I still think a mercenary should get all the bounty, not just.
Okay. Well, maybe with this then they do, because this is different. Because this isn't just willy nilly. How much. How many people placed a bounty on them or whatnot. It's this is more personal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think there should also be a maximum amount of bounty. So if you do an X act, is an X grievous act, then there's a maximum of X bounty that you can place on that person.
You think so? Because I'm going to be one rich ass bastard in the game, and if somebody screws with me, I'm going to put the screws to them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well.
You should have the maximum number of bounty, depending on what hostile activities the guy did.
Really? You don't think that I can take
No.
that it should be capped?
Yeah, if someone just punches you and runs away, you shouldn't give him bounty like a billion or something.
Well, why not? He'll only get killed once, because if we change the system to where, the mercenary collects the whole thing, then it's just a one-time deal. He won't come and punch me again, will he?
True, but that will be possibly abused. I'm thinking about
okay.
being farmed
Okay.
if you do that.
Yeah, I think the farming thing needs to be sort of taken out. So I think percentage-wise, if you put percentages on it, then that should take a lot of the farming out.
Yeah, exactly. And also, for example, with gold farmers, it might be an easy way for gold farmers to exchange gold rounds.
Oh my God! Can we tag gold farmers as committing hostile actions, and then we place
That will be
bounties on
great
them?
as well. Yeah, definitely.
'Cause I talked about that gold farmers should be non-consequential to our gameplay. That they shouldn't be able to affect our gameplay, but that they should make great cannon fodder. Like they should be awesome to shoot at.
Sounds good. I would like to throw in my next question there. Multiboxing.
No. We're talking
Okay,
about
okay.
this is only about mercenaries.
Okay.
I'm going to create an out of guild character just to farm bots.
Yeah.
So they then put bounties on me for farming them, and I collect them myself.
Now, wouldn't that? Okay, so
I'm a bit confused. How can bounty be farmed? Someone pays for it, so they lose gold, you gain gold. So no fun there. Yes.
I think that when an account gets banned for gold farming or whatever, that everybody that has killed them along the way should get a prize. And that might be the incentive to search out people who look like they're gold farming and kill them.
Yeah. Good idea, but
disrupt their business. Yes.
Good idea, but what about people that look like gold farmers but are just players that are in a routine? You know.
Players who are in a routine answer back to you when you say hello.
Not always.
Yeah.
Not always, but they don't follow the same pattern when you stand in front of them and they keep running into a tree or whatever.
That's correct. Okay, that's
So-
correct. Yes.
I think people could be pinned as one of those by mistake sometimes, but I think the majority of us who play the game and know it well will be able to spot that it just doesn't look like natural behavior. So, okay, let's
Will there be a way of knowing who's setting the bounty on you?
Well, that's an interesting question, and I think that we should. I think that if somebody places a bounty on me, that I should know that I have a bounty on me, and I should know who placed it, and maybe that brings up another point, that I should be able to contact that person and maybe negotiate the removal of the bounty.
Yes. Definitely.
Maybe if you defeat the bounty hunter, one of the options is that he tells you who set the bounty.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think you should be able to pay off your bounty. So the person that set put your bounty on you, you can actually sort of either pay it off or apologise, and then they can remove it.
You know, that's not a bad idea, actually. Somebody who is really against having bounties and makes a mistake or something like that, and it's very important to them that they don't die for whatever reason, they could then say, well, it's valuable enough to me that I'm just going to pay the person who placed the bounty and just pay them off to remove it.
I think there has to be some agreement because if a rich person goes around killing people and these poor people put bounties on them, he'll just go around and pay them all off just like that. So there has to be an agreement between the two parties. So if a newbie gets killed by a rich player like Marky, then that person knows this guy's rich will not accept a small amount. You accept a bigger amount than the bounty that's being placed on his head.
Are you saying that I'm going to have to be kind to the peasants?
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Yes, I hope to be king.
But I think if you
The peasants.
But I think if you get a bounty, you should not get any notification about it, who and how much you got on your head. So I would give that option to a new class or another class, maybe something like a smuggler that gets all the informations, do some background contact.
Oh, you know, actually,
So-
that could be a whole nother skill there that could say,
Yeah, bounty
I've
checking.
seen this bounty, and so I'm
Investigator,
going to
yeah.
contact you and say, would you like to pay me to know who placed a bounty on you?
Yes, something like that. I mean, it's almost nearby the same system like in Star Wars Galaxies, but this system was really great, and I enjoyed it. So you had the smuggler, and the smuggler was staying somewhere, and you could go to them, and then you tipped him some credits, and he was telling you the bounty that you had on your head. And also, it was showing you if somebody is hunting you or not.
Yeah. So I might pay somebody occasionally to do a search, kind of like
Yeah.
I pay the credit bureaus occasionally to tell me whether or not my credit's okay.
By the way,
like-
you are not longer the most wanted in EVE.
I'm not. Oh.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll have to take off my crown. Wow. Okay. Well, so be it. Maybe I have to get back in the game and work on that some more.
It should
So
only take one stream to do that.
I know. I know.
And I think, as I mentioned, the bounty hunter or the mercenary should be only able to take a look at the billboards, how many bounties are available to claim and so on, and no other player should be able to do that.
Oh, maybe you have to start. Maybe you have to learn so much skill in mercenary to be able to even start in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good idea to separate for normal player or hunter or someone else. I think all must be same.
Yeah, but I mean, you have the bounty hunters, and the bounty hunter is a profession. It's focusing on PvP for hunting down people and gaining money. So
Yeah.
he's doing his money on this way. So if every other player is able to do that as well, then it's getting boring. So then I
Why-
don't need to play a bounty hunter.
Why I can't, for example, learn skill from bounty hunter and from blacksmith or something like this?
Maybe the bounty hunter skill is not about being able to see who's got a bounty, but actually be able to track the person that's got a bounty. So that's a tracking skill rather than.
Oh yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
you get up so high in tracking skill, and then all of a sudden you're able to see these bounties.
Yeah, you can
That's
sort of see which
that's one of the
direction they are.
perks.
Yeah.
Well, you can see which direction they are, so you can then sort of head in that
Uh-huh.
direction to find out where they are.
Ooh, this is getting evil. Where's evil when you need him? He's not here today.
Because that way you can sort of jump around the map, see which direction they are, and then sort of zone in on them that way. So you can sort of like triangulate where they are in the world.
And maybe if
Jumping
you are a
around.
really highly skilled bounty hunter or mercenary, you can even get alerts when the player comes online.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some tracking
Yeah.
skills. That you have some connection somewhere. Hey, I've seen this guy, and then you get a letter or something like that.
Yeah, this sound better. Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds like a
Hey.
lot of fun. This
Hey,
sounds like a
yeah.
game I want to play.
Yeah. pay town NTPs to sort of alert you if they see this person.
Yeah. So, okay, we're getting close to the end of the show time here, and there's a couple of people here who have been here for most of the show who haven't really said very much. There's John, and there's is it QCO?
Quico.
Quico. So, Quico, what do you think about all this? What's your take on the mercenary stuff?
It sounds interesting, and I've enjoyed listening to this talk here, and especially the last bit about the tracking and such sounds really interesting. And also the fact to restrict it to negative acts, so only negative acts can cause a bounty to be put on you. So that sounds very good to me.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, John?
Yeah, well, a lot of the bounty hunters, like in real life, that's governed by a government, and they issue a bounty, and that's like a law enforcement officer. Maybe, I don't
and
know
you're
if there's
supposed to
going to be
bring
some
them
sort
back alive too.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a good idea, that you can only in-cap the target, and then he's lying on the ground for 30 seconds, and then it's up on you if you want to kill him and claim the bounty, or if you give him the option to pay you, and then you can let him go.
Yeah. Maybe
Continue
the guy
on,
gets
John.
10% of the bounty at the beginning, and if he is defeated by the target, he gets that money.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah. So I think that this is one of the great things about how we can socially, social peer pressure for being good to other people in the game. And when you're going to be bad, you're doing it very much so on purpose. Not just being, so this is what I mean by social pressure, is that people who are not really invested in the game very much, who just want to come in and cause problems, are going to get bounties and they're going to keep getting killed, whatnot, and maybe they'll like that or whatnot. But the people who are already good-hearted in the beginning, and they go out and they get a mean streak or whatnot, they're going to see this bounty on their head. It's going to negatively affect them, and then they'll be a more productive member of the community. But at the same time, the system, I think, will allow for people who want to do this as a profession to possibly earn a living at it, and make good money in the game, and they'll become very good at it. Yeah. So anyway, okay. Well, I think that's about it for the show today. And thank you for joining us. Those of you watching live, by tomorrow morning, I'll have a new schedule up underneath the show here on Twitch that will list out what some of the future subjects are for roundtables and show you when you can join. And then we will be back again later this evening as well. We have another show scheduled for 5 hours from now. So in 5 hours, we will be on the air again for another couple of hours. And those of you that are still awake in your time zone, you are welcome to join us. So take care, everybody.
Take care.
And we'll see y'all later.
See you later.